What is up, everyone? I am singing the intro because it is wicked for good. That was my best attempt at singing. I sound just like Cynthia Erivo.
I know, and I'm Ariana Grande.
It is uncanny how good we sound. But we are here, guys, to do our review finally for Wicked for Good. I did see it Wednesday, but I started a new job and this job has been kind of killer. So now I'm here to finally, I was like, I wasn't able to do the spoiler free review. So I was like, you know what? Andrew's excited about Wicked. He's seeing it Saturday. So I thought, we'll still do a live spoiler review for you guys so you guys can, chime in, give you guys thoughts, comment what you think throughout the review, and then, we'll take your comments and thoughts. And I know what y'all are thinking. Y'all are thinking, what is that glare on the screen? Well, I got these Wicked for Good 3D glasses with my screening on Wednesday. They had like pink ones or green ones, and so I ended up getting pink ones. So they're kind of fun, and I just thought, I'd wear them for the review.
And luckily enough, at my IMAX screening yesterday, they had one of the cups left over. They were all out of the buckets,
Yeah.
and the only thing that the Regal Footing went back today was the music box, but that was a little bit too much money.
For me, the Regal one was out of both. The entire combo was gone. The music box is all they had. The entire combo was already taken. And I was like, God damn, it must have just all sold out on Thursday. Because I went to the theater, I think, on like Friday night to see something else. And they were already gone. And I was just like, geez.
I know why.
Why?
Monday they had screenings, and Wednesday they had screenings.
Yeah, I know they did, but also my Regal, because I remember we went and asked about the popcorn buckets on Wednesday. Me and the friend that went to go see it in 3D. My friend wanted the combo stuff, and she was wondering, why is there no Wicked stuff out for this one-day early access Wednesday screening? And they said, well, they're at least our Regal here. The lady said, we're going to put them out Thursday night for people, so then that way the Thursday night screening people can like have a chance to actually get the buckets and everything. And so I guess they put them out Thursday night, and then they were gone that day.
I still think what people need to do with these buckets, is basically do simple math.
Yeah, they need to do a one per person kind of deal or something.
And no, not even that. Say if they got like 500 of them.
Mm-hmm.
Say, okay, we're gonna sell 150 of these per day.
Yeah.
And then the rest are saved for people that are coming to the Saturday screenings. Mm-hmm. And then others are saved for the Sunday screening people.
Yeah. I think it's crazy that you get such limited stock and then you sell out that fast. Like, that's what happened with the Deadpool Wolverine bucket that I wanted. It just sold out instantaneously. And I was like, what is going on, guys?
It's so weird because last year I was able to get the green bucket.
Yeah, the green bucket was super easy to get last year. And then the music box is still able to easily get right now. But it's just like, that's the only thing for Wicked that's easy to get. Everything else is just completely sold out now. So kind of crazy. But we are not here to, while that was a fun rant, we are not here to rant about the popcorn buckets. We are here to discuss our thoughts on Wicked for Good. Mm-hmm. Now, the question is this wickedly good? See what I did there?
Yep.
Because it is Wicked for Good. This is the much anticipated sequel to Wicked from 2024, based on the Broadway play. This is part 2, so this is the second part of the Wicked story. Mm-hmm. And anyone who knows, the Wicked story knows that part 2 is a bit more divisive than part one was.
Yes.
And
yes,
it does,
yes, and this is even in the musical. So like when some of the critics are saying stuff about it, I'm like, have you seen the musical? I'm like, if you've seen the musical, you would know they're trying their best with what they've got.
oh yeah, yeah. They're trying their best, and to me, not all of this works. I like it more than some people do, but this would be an interesting review because I know this is not going to be like Argyle where I completely hated this film, but this is something where I found the film to be mid kid for good. I guess you could try to say that's the best kind of pun I could use there. Where I thought it was kind of mid, or I'll just call it wicked for mid. There you go. And then you loved it, I know. But we'll go deeper into our thoughts here. But
yes,
yeah,
for me, it's hard to compare the first one and the second one. I was talking to a friend, and she basically said one thing that I sort of agree with. That I see the Wicked movies as one complete package.
yeah,
As like a complete package, not like oh hey, the sequel is better than the original or something. I look at it like one problem some people may have had with the original is it was fun and light, but honestly, until it had some heaviness to it, but it wasn't really as heavy until the last half when they met the wizard.
yeah.
Wizard. But with this one, we're like, okay, we're gonna dive into more of the serious stuff now. Which I'm like, at the end of the day, I'm like, it really depends upon what I'm in the mood for. Like, sometimes I may say, you know what? I prefer the levity of the first movie and the seriousness of the second movie. Like if these two movies were combined together, it could be just like Les Mis for me.
Yeah.
If they basically combined both movies into one, it would have been perfect. It is perfect.
It would have been long.
Still my third favorite musical of all time.
It would have been a long. That would have been one long ass movie if they would have combined both of these. But yeah, but it would have been definitely still good because I definitely see what you mean. It's got that kind of Kill Bill effect where it does feel like one. Speaking of Kill Bill, there you go. It kind of has that Kill Bill effect where it's like it feels like one movie. Yeah, so maybe we'll see a Wicked combo movies into one edit. That would be interesting.
I would go see that. I would go see that. What I would love to see for the Wicked movies.
What's that?
Them do something in the vein of like a Rocky Horror.
That could be cool.
For it's like an every year. Oh, around this time. Oh, okay. Movie theaters release this. Like imagine if like the week before Thanksgiving, every year they release like the complete edition.
Yeah.
And I feel like people would go see it. Some people would go every year. Some people would go like every few years. But I feel it would be interesting to see.
Yeah, I think so. I think so as well. I mean, it'll all depend, and we'll discuss this further once we get to the end. But it'll all depend on if they do a third one. If they do a third one, then that'll kind of defeat the purpose of making this into one kind of feature. But yeah,
I disagree, and I will tell you why.
why is that?
I will tell you why. Because, can I say it quickly now?
Yeah, you can.
John M. Chu said the third one is not going to be Galenta or Elphaba's story. Their story is done.
Okay.
So it could be, hey, this is their story. We're releasing their story into theaters. And it could work out perfectly if they make that third one because they could literally say, hey, come see the double feature of this, and you can also see that, kind of a thing.
True. And Brian Nussbaum says they already did a third movie. It's called The Wizard of Oz. Technically, but also if you know the Wicked story, this isn't much of a spoiler if you already know the Wicked story, but scenes from The Wizard of Oz are actually in part 2 and in this. So technically, this is already a retelling of Wizard of Oz. So
I meant a third movie in the expanded universe of The Wizard of Oz in the Wicked type of frame. And now I do have a question for you.
What's that?
Would this movie actually making $150 million in the opening weekend more money than the original?
That is true. It made.
You think and some people and some people may say it's not gonna make $1 billion because of the previews. But to that, if you know what I bring up?
What?
The audience score is just as high as the first one.
That is true.
Yeah, it's the critic score that is lower, not the audience score. And I noticed something as well, which is really looking good for it.
What's that?
I looked at my Regal for like Black Friday. Zootopia 2 has like plenty of seats, a lot of their show times. Wicked is basically selling out.
Yeah.
Selling out. So it's like wow. And on top of that, people are going to bring up, but Andrew, Avatar is coming into that. To that, I say, by the time Avatar comes, Wicked would be making maybe $20 to $30 million. Like, it would not be making 50, 60 million in its 5th week, even if there was no Avatar.
Yeah, and also Zootopia is doing something weird where it's opening on a Tuesday, so it's not even opening on like a Thursday night, weekend kind of deal. So that kind of I understand it because they want to try to make it be a part of the holidays, but it still seems odd to me. It's not to release it on the weekend. It's
yeah. But at the end of the day, I still adore this movie. I cannot wait to own this movie and it's gonna be perfect timing because we'll be entering December, the cold months. So I could literally have all the time to do a double feature of that first and second movie.
Yeah, and trust me, you're going to be rewatching it a bunch, which actually ties into the EDM comment here. It says, while open bigger, don't think it will have repeat viewings. The first was a celebration of friendship and fun sing-along. This one, think many will wait for streaming for the rewatch. I could see that.
I don't see that happening. I do not see that happening, because as I said, I've even started looking ahead and at my theater now. I know it's just my theater. I know it's just my theater, so it could be just my theater loving like Wicked, but it says a lot that even next week it still sell it. It's still like all of like the really good seats like towards the back selling out. It's like if you want to go see Wicked, it's the first 3 rows and that's it.
Yeah.
So
my screening was packed on Wednesday. I'll say that it was pretty full. Yeah.
And I did see one thing at all of my screenings. I saw a lot of kids.
Oh yeah, a bunch of kids.
So it's not like, and everybody's like, "Ooh, should I bring my kid?" And also, it is based on the Broadway musical, so and
yeah,
it is darker, but it's not like dark.
No, it's dark. It's darker, but it's not dark to the point of.
It's not like dark. Like it's like the only kids that I would question are kids younger than the age of 4.
Yeah, I can see
Maybe them, I would say. I don't know, but if they're 4 and up, I think that this would be fine. And also, hell, look at the Indiana Jones movies of the 80s. Those movies were rated PG.
Yeah, those are
PG before the rating. Remember that before the PG-13 rating?
Yeah, I think so. What's the first one rated PG? I forgot, but
PG-13. I think PG-13.
But I know Jaws was rated PG, and such. But
I think it was Temple of Doom.
Maybe. Oh yeah, I think you might be onto something there. Let me.
Was like
the
first time they said, okay, this is not R-rated, but this is definitely not PG.
Oh yeah, it was PG, and that's definitely interesting because that's like even the first film and the second film both have that very gruesome scene in it, which is
so it's not like dark, and so I feel that it is not. It is at minimum, I think, going to do around what that first movie did.
Yeah.
At minimum, I think it's going to go higher.
Yeah, I could see that. I don't think, because even if audiences do really love it, overall, it doesn't have as much. When you count critics and audiences, it doesn't have as much of a beloved factor to it as much as the first film does. So because of that, I do think it'll make less than the first, but I think it'll not be by much. I think, the first, but also if they play their strategy right, because I remember with the first film, they dropped it onto VOD way too early, like way too early. And that affected the film's box office. If they play their cards right and they don't drop this on VOD like less than a month into it being out, then they would be able to have those legs potentially and keep on.
I'm putting it. I know I'm gonna say a big range, but I'm predicting between 800 to like in the $1 billion club, but it just just crossing to that like 1.0000 kind of a thing.
Yeah.
I'm predicting it's either going to So I do think it could make more money than the original Wicked because also look, there's one other factor as well that people are not talking about.
What's that?
The first movie went up against Moana 2.
That's true.
I'm sorry, Zootopia 2. I do not see the hype that Moana had.
Yeah, Moana's
Moana's like the most streamed movie on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
Like
it's
and
pretty
it still
big.
managed to make all that, and we could still manage to make over like 700 million.
Zootopia may have won the Oscar, but Moana is definitely more popular.
So at the end of the day, I'm like, so that's another reason. I'm like, I think Wicked is going to win because all of the little girls are going to be wicked.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Especially because of that ending scene.
Yeah, the ending scene, which is powerful. I mean, we can, I guess, now dive into spoilers, guys. So if y'all haven't seen the film, come back here and let us know. And come back here, guys, and then watch this point of the review because we're about to get into spoilers. I've already basically given my thoughts, saying how I thought this movie was subpar compared to the first. Thought it was kind of mid, had its moments, but overall, something especially as a Wizard of Oz fan and such, there's some things I'm not really keen on, but I understand it's part of the overall Wicked production, so I probably just wouldn't like the Wicked play as a whole. But but then there's other aspects that are part of the movie itself that I don't like, and we'll get into it whenever we do our breakdown of it. But yeah, we can first discuss the things that we did like, and we can talk about them in kind of spoilerish details here now. But I'll say the very first thing I liked about this movie, biggest standout, is Ariana Grande. All around. She just blew me away with her performance. I thought she was extremely emotional. Like, I am someone who grew up watching Victorious and Sam and Cat on Nickelodeon. All you people who can relate to that, let me know in the comments if y'all have seen Victorious and Sam and Cat. But I remember watching those.
Victorious was, in my opinion, always better than iCarly. I feel like iCarly got like all of the fanfare and everything.
Yeah.
But Victorious, I'm like, this is a better show. I love it.
It was. I always laughed harder. Like the episode where they're all stuck in the RV is like one of my favorite episodes of television. But I will say
there's only one character I did not like on that show for some reason.
Which one?
Rex the puppet really annoyed me for some reason.
Yeah, I definitely get that.
Like,
but Ariana Grande, I remember her being in that show, and I was sitting there like, oh, she's fun, I guess. But then once she started going to singing, I was like, okay, this is where her career is. Sorry, Ariana, you ain't a great actress. Then she started to cameo and stuff like Don't Look Up, and I was like, okay, that's fun. That's not really performance, because it was more so a cameo. Then she started to kind of appear in that show Kidding with Jim Carrey, but again, very short role. So I was like, okay, I'm not going to count that. And then all of a sudden, out of the blue, she comes in with Wicked, and we were all blown away when we saw, her in Wicked Part 1. We were just like,
yes,
who is this? What the hell? This is the Nickelodeon girl? What is going on? And then we get Wicked for Good, and she's somehow even better than what she was in the first film.
I feel like there's a simple reason for that.
Why is that?
This is the more emotional movie.
That's true.
like for instance, the song thank goodness it was thank goodness for instance. I I first half of the song I was like, okay, this is one of my least favorites. Okay. And then something funny happened. After she has that conversation with Fiero, and she comes back for that second part of the song, I can feel her emotion. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my god, this is literally like I'm like, I'm gonna have to rethink things. Like, cause this song just became this, and I'm like, I wish that the whole song was like this, because that would have been like top tier.
Oh yeah, and her original song in this film,
My god,
Girl in the
amazing.
Bubble, so good. Girl in the Bubble, so good.
Second favorite song in the movie.
Yeah, it is absolutely mind-blowing that, they came out with this original song. We knew that there was going to be two original songs in here, one from Cynthia, one from Ariana, and Ariana's song is the one that took the cake, and that's probably going to get the best original song nomination and such, but it is really, really powerful, and Ariana sang it beautifully, and I thought just the way you felt the emotion in her voice, and just in a lot of the film, like I saw this one review that said that hated her performance as saying like, oh, she's just kind of giving the same old lip quivering kind of expression the whole way through, and it's just like I feel like it's more range than just a
Yes, and
kind of crying performance like that.
The key sign that is a good song.
What's
There's many songs on the soundtrack that I told you that I had lower, like Wonderful. I heard it on the soundtrack, and I'm like, okay, this is a mid-tier song, and especially compared to the Broadway version. And then I've watched the new version. Then I've watched it with the visuals, and I'm like, this is so much better. It needed the visuals, okay, but the Girl in the Bubble. When I think about that song, it was still my second favorite, even after watching the movie. I'm like, it is just such a good song that even if you are blind and just listen to the song, if you could tell that it was a great song, if you could feel it in your heart, and just if you can just feel it with that song.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that song is really excellent, and in fact, I kind of agree with EDM Ears as Glinda comes off very unlikable. That's why they added the Girl in the Bubble, get the audience to her side for the unsatisfying conclusion. So, yeah.
Wait a minute. Did he say unsatisfying?
Unsatisfying conclusion. I mean, I am in kind of the same vein as him. I wasn't a fan of the conclusion, but I can understand. But again, I'm just not a fan of the conclusion because of me being a Wizard of Oz fan and what happens in that. But
I guess I love the conclusion because I love the musical.
Yeah.
And if they changed that ending, it would not have it. You would see the critic reviews go, the audience reviews plummet if they changed that ending.
But I do think though Wicked, it's interesting because Wicked, the first film, it really only applies to, I guess you could say, Elphaba, but in this one, I like how the title Wicked applies to both of them because they do both become wicked in their own ways. and Galinda becomes wicked by betraying her friend, and then Elphaba becomes wicked by putting a spell on basically everyone and just making several people just.
Are you talking about the Galinda thing? What part are you talking about?
I'm talking about in general, because Galinda does become wicked in this movie by betraying her friend, saying use her sister, yada yada, to to get her to come, and then her sister dies, and then
I am going to defend one thing.
What?
Because I perfectly understand what you're saying, but I'm going to mention one thing.
What?
She never mentioned harming anybody. She said, say her sister needs help. And Madame Morrible said, what if we killed her? To the wizard after Galinda had left. So Galinda had no clue as to what they were planning.
Yeah, I get that, but then also, doesn't Galinda by the end, doesn't she have like the dark book by the end, and she's starting to kind of, you see by the end it's hinting that she's going to start delving into some of Elphaba's powers and abilities and such. So
yes, I can understand that, and also defending her saying that. I'm going to bring up one other thing.
What's that?
Keep in mind what just transpired before she said that.
Oh, well, yeah. That
the love of her life,
yeah,
was running off with her best friend. Everybody in times of anger has said shit that maybe they said, if I took a step back and I thought things over, I would not have said that, or I would have phrased that better, or something.
Yeah. No, I definitely could agree with that. But moving on past Galinda, another aspect I liked, and there's some stuff with characters I don't like, and I'll say that for the dislikes, but one of the other aspects I did like of this movie was the Elphaba stuff too. I thought Elphaba herself was really good. It's funny, she reuses the line, "You have no real power." She says it way better in this, because I thought in the first film, with her line delivery of "You have no real power" was like over the top and kind of not good. But in here, she says it much better. And I thought that, this is a really emotional, powerful performance from Cynthia Erivo, and again, she is just an amazing singer. Absolutely blows the roof off the place. My audience was cheering and applauding after no good deed, all that. So it was really great.
I'm still pissed about one thing that happens involving Elphaba that I will never forgive this movie for.
What's that?
It's in No Place Like Home. You can see that she's getting to the end. She's gearing up for that big high note that's gonna bring the whole house down, and then the Cowardly Lion interrupts her. And I'm like, excuse you, you do not interrupt Cynthia Erivo when she's about to end her song.
Yeah, which is part of the reason why I think No Place Like Home is kind of the more forgettable of the original songs in here. I think it's the one that I'm not left off like humming and kind of, I'm not really remembering it much after the movie is over. But Girl with the Bubble, A Girl in the Bubble, I do remember. So it's kind of like a difference there between the two songs. But I thought overall she still did a really good job.
Absolutely. Just look at them singing For Good. Like
God,
that is a beautiful song. The best song in the movie, and in my opinion, the best song in Wicked. Like it's my favorite song in the stage show. And the movie managed to make it my favorite song in the movie as well.
Yeah. No, they absolutely did a phenomenal job with For Good. I actually found myself, even as someone who didn't really care for this movie, I found myself tearing up at the For Good song because of just the emotion behind it and kind of the relatability of, friendship and, that beautiful camaraderie between, two people and such. So, yeah, I really, really loved that song performance and some of the other song performances. Some of the songs here, like the songs overall, are not as memorable as the first. The first had Gravity.
Yes, that
Popular,
again is
had The Wizard and I, had all these songs in there. So, there's the first film had way more memorable songs than the second film does. And that's what I hear is the complaints of the play as well. Like the second half of the play doesn't really have that much memorable songs outside No Good Deed and For Good, basically. But
No Good Deed, For Good, and I will always give a shout out to the song Wonderful because I really like that song.
EDM says, and I kind of agree with him, he says Wonderful is the peace song. Yeah, I kind of agree. I was not a big fan of Wonderful, so that's one that if I needed to get up and go to the bathroom, I could go up during Wonderful.
Can I tell you when I go to the bathroom?
When?
That scene when they're visiting Nessa Rose.
The what?
That scene where they're visiting Nessa.
Oh yeah.
That is the scene where I'm like, oh, I can go to the bathroom now. I don't like this part.
Yeah. Which Nessa just, yeah, that whole scene there.
Yes.
Was just really pointless. I mean, we can get to, if you have more stuff that you want to talk about that you liked, then we can finish that off. But then I have some stuff I disliked that I want to discuss as well.
Okay. I also really enjoyed Jonathan Bailey in this.
Oh, and Coleman Domingo is the Cowardly Lion. I thought his voice was
Coleman Domingo. As long as you're mine. Funny enough, was like my third favorite song in the show, and then No Good Deed is fourth, and then fifth was Wonderful. And so yes, and that opening scene alone has to be like one of the most epic openings to a musical movie ever.
Oh yeah.
With the animals, and Elphaba shows up and she's like throwing things at the guards. I'm like, I have not seen anything this exciting to start off a musical. And then since the convicts bringing in the ship from Les Miserables.
Yeah.
Those are the two things when I think of epic, like exciting, not just like beautiful, like, oh my god, this looked so good. I mean, like epic, like exciting musical openings. Those were the first ones that come to my mind. I felt like Jeff Goldblum and Michelle Yeoh did a serviceable job. Funny enough, Jeff Goldblum is not who I would have casted as the Wizard. I had two other
Jeff
people.
Goldblum literally is Jeff Goldblum in every single movie. No one can ever prove me wrong on this. He is Jeff Goldblum in every single movie.
I had 4 other people that I would have had play the Wizard, and I want your thoughts on if you think any of these people you would have picked Jeff Goldblum.
Probably.
If he was still alive, Robin Williams.
Oh, absolutely.
Neil Patrick Harris.
Yeah, I could see it.
Hugh Jackman.
Yeah.
And funny enough, my number 1 pick, Seth MacFarlane.
I could see it. Working.
If you hear Seth MacFarlane's voice, you would be like, oh my god, that dude has pipes. Like, I could legit see that happening, and I'm like, and I'm like,
because also here's the thing: all those people that you mentioned are singers. Jeff Goldblum isn't primarily known for singing, and so when he does sing in this movie, I'm sorry, I have to admit it. When you hear Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande, and then you hear Jeff Goldblum sing, it's just not good. He's just not a good singer, and it's just like, dude, like.
And there's other people, other like Keegan-Michael Key, like he's been in musicals, and I'm like, he would have been a perfect Wizard. Like, he's in Keegan-Michael Key. I don't mean to say anything else, but for some reason, like, whenever he's in a movie or a show, he's like a role that I'm like, I really like that role. There's something about Keegan-Michael Key that I genuinely really enjoy. And I would have probably have loved him as the Wizard.
Oh yeah. I think that would have definitely been one that would have been great. Martin Short, if they wanted to go older.
Or Steve Martin.
Either one of those would have been really great as the Wizard. So just Jeff Goldblum, this felt like an odd pick, and I don't think it worked super well. Also, I just say that de-aging stuff that they did with Jeff Goldblum, nightmare fuel.
And somebody who may have not had the best singing voice, but he would have given a better performance. Robert De Niro as the Wizard.
Yeah. Oh, someone also brings up Coleman Domingo as the Wizard instead of the Lion. I also could have seen that too. And I haven't seen the Running Man yet, but yeah, I think Coleman Domingo could have also been great in that role too. So
Michelle Yeoh was decent as Madame Morrible. I still think that what they should have done is either cast Kristen Chenoweth or Idina Menzel instead of that cameo that they had in the first movie.
Yeah.
Make him Madame Morrible.
Yeah, I think Idina Menzel as Madame Morrible could have worked, especially because, Michelle Yeoh, she's an Oscar winner and she can act and such, but like, she also wasn't that great of a singer. So when she sings, it's just sort of like, maybe you should stick to acting, kind of.
But yes, and even their acting performances in this movie were like, okay, they can't sing, but damn, did they do a good job acting. It wasn't like that even.
Yeah, it wasn't even like that. It was just sort of like, okay, they're fine, But it wasn't like anything to write home about, and that was kind of a bummer.
Yes.
Now, on to some of the other stuff I just liked, other than the Jeff Goldblum.
Oh yes. I do want to talk about one other performance that I just remembered.
Oh yeah.
The actress who played Nessa, like, I don't want the character, but she did a good job playing her. And Ethan Slater was also great.
Yeah. I think I have some issues with the Nessa Rose character, and it ties into the Wicked story as a whole, but also how they utilize it in this movie and everything. But I definitely have some issues with that character.
Oh, trust me, I do too.
And I thought
I do too.
I thought that her performance was fine, but the actual character itself, I definitely have issues with not only the character, but how they go about handling it and everything.
But again, to give the movie credit, like they had to stick to what they wanted to stick to what the musical did. So because they did it in the musical, they didn't want to deviate too much from how it was done in the musical.
I understand that, and on the one hand, I do respect it because of that. Like, that is a good thing that they stuck to the musical, respected the musical. But on the other hand, I don't like that the musical makes the only disabled character in the whole movie and say, you know what idea to do with a disabled character? Let's kill him. And it's just like, oh, that feels just wrong, and they barely do anything with that character. They like don't even really utilize her that much. Just like, oh, let's just kill her and barely make her a character. It's just like feels disrespectful.
It wasn't even the killing for me. For me that bothered me. It was all the shitty things she did. Like when the part came to kill her, I'm like, you know what, do it. I legit was so pissed at all the stuff that she was doing that I'm like, I don't care about you anymore.
I mean, to be fair, in this movie, she doesn't even really do anything because she's there talking to her sister, and then she's floating up in the air, and then that guy who loved her comes in there, and then he's all just like, oh, I don't love you anymore. And then it's just she gets angry, and then he becomes the Tin Man, and then it's just like, that's her only scene. And it's just what?
It's the subtle stuff that she does that bothers me. Like,
oh, okay.
Bothers me like how she was like, oh, I'm going to implement all these new laws that basically like represent America right now, and saying, why are you doing this? Oh, because I don't want to be compared to my sister. I'm like, that is so fucking petty that it bothers me. And then when she arrived, when she arrived, she's like, you weren't there when Dad died. You weren't there for me. I'm like, did you see how your father treated her all through that first movie, all through the flashbacks, all through the all of that stuff? And if you're going to be like that, and she's getting mad at her for not helping her, even though in the first movie she's like, no, I don't want your help. So it's like, how is Elphaba supposed to know that she changed her mind? And then when the guy that she loves runs instead of being like, fuck you, go, or something like that, no, she goes to the Grimmery, tries to read it, puts a spell on him, and then when all goes wrong and Elphaba's gone, she says it's Elphaba's fault. She did it. I'm like,
I thought Elphaba was the one that was reading from the book and put the spell on him, though.
No.
Oh, okay.
It started out with Nessa.
Oh, okay.
And then Elphaba tried to reverse it, but it failed, and Nessa blamed Elphaba, and I'm like, if you didn't read from the Grimmery in the first place, we would not be in this situation, situation. So all of those things like combined, I'm like, I cannot stand this character.
Yeah, and I just feel like, I don't know. I feel like it's just a really bad representation of the disabled community, I feel. And it's just something that, to make a disabled character not only die like that, but also to be this unlikable. It's just like, really? You're only
there is a fun fact about the musical and the movie. In
What's
the
that?
musical, she doesn't float.
Oh, really? Interesting.
On Broadway, she walks.
Oh, okay. I actually like that better.
But the issue is they casted somebody who couldn't walk.
Oh, yeah.
Who couldn't walk in the first place.
Yeah.
And on Broadway, what they do is they find somebody that can walk like short distances, but needs a wheelchair still, so they're technically disabled. But in this one, they wanted to go for somebody. They wanted to expand it just to shine light on people who can't even walk.
Yeah, and at least they did shine a light on that, but I just think that they could have done so much better on that. And also talking about some of the other characters in this movie, there are some other characters that I get. This is the Glinda and Elphaba story, especially Glinda. This was very much her movie, but like so many of the other characters were kind of throwaways. Like that one dude from, I'm blanking on his name, from
Fanny and Shen, her friends.
But I was actually talking about Fiyero, and then Bach here, or I think that's how you say his name, Bach. But both of them were basically pointless in this movie, and the reason why is like, yeah, sure, they become Wizard of Oz characters, but literally Bach has the one scene in that room, and then he gets turned into the Tin Man, and then he just doesn't exist for a good chunk of the movie, and then comes back angry as Tin Man, and it's just like, okay, like where were you for the whole rest of this movie? You just vanished, just disappeared earlier. And then with like Jonathan Bailey as Fiyero, he's literally there to just mope and like, say, don't hurt her and all this stuff. And then he's there to just like be with Elphaba, and then he disappears. And then what I didn't like too is that, she's making him into the Scarecrow, right? And we barely even see what the transformation's like. And we just see like eventually he just disappears for a good chunk of the movie. And then he comes back in his Scarecrow self, and it's just like, oh, okay.
Again, that's what the stage show does too.
That's weird. That's a weird choice on my part, then, I think. Because it's like, if you're doing that should be a focus.
Technically, it's not that much, because after As Long As You're Mine, there's that scene at the where the crash happens, and Fiyero shows up, and then he's being strong on the thing, and then if we get the no good deed, that scene, and then it's basically Glinda and Elphaba trying to fix their friendship. So Jonathan Bailey didn't have a lot to do in that scene. Like,
I guess I can get that, but like,
anything,
but do they show him at all as Scarecrow previously before that in the play?
No.
Wow. Okay.
No. That's supposed to be a big reveal for the end of the movie.
But that's what's weird is it's not really a reveal at the end of the movie.
Seeing what he looks like.
Oh, what he looks like. Okay. Because I was going to say, like, him being Scarecrow isn't a reveal at the end of the movie because he's literally becoming Scarecrow on screen during the No Good Deed song.
Seeing what he looks like is the big reveal of the movie. And
okay.
And also my biggest issue with one thing also that I thought of with Jonathan Bailey, he should have had one more conversation towards the end of the movie with Galinda.
Yeah.
Basically apologizing and explaining his feelings.
Yeah, I think there could have been.
He does care about Galinda. He clearly cares about Galinda.
Well, I thought that was the talk we were going to have in the last scene he has with Galinda, but instead the guards are punching him. She's like, "No, don't hurt him! Don't hurt him!" And I'm just like, "Well, this is the perfect time to have that conversation, guys." But instead, we're just punching him, and she's just like crying about them punching him. Like, okay.
I do feel that they do that in the musical, but I do feel that is something that is like, it's a minor thing. It could have been like 1 minute.
Yeah.
And that if they had that, I would have said, you know what? I wish they had that in the musical. I wish they had that in the musical. Musical, kind of like now I'm saying, I wish the girl in the bubble was a part of the musical. So now I'm wishing that if they did have that conversation, that would be a part of the musical.
Also, and I know this is probably part of the musical as well, but my other issue stems from being a Wizard of Oz fan. And so, as someone who hasn't seen the musical in full, I've seen clips, but I've not seen the musical in full. And
highly recommend it. I highly recommend it.
And then coming into seeing this as someone who has Wizard of Oz as my third favorite movie of all time, period, it was definitely there was definitely some things that threw me off. Like, I understand changing things. I'm fine with making Elphaba kind of like the likable lead character. I'm fine with making all these other changes. My thing is, so I always thought that this was supposed to be a different take on the Wizard of Oz. But if it's supposed to be a different take on the Wizard of Oz, what's confusing is there is some beat for beat scenes from the Wizard of Oz thrown into this movie. And it's just like, if there are some beat for beat scenes from the original movie, then how is this supposed to be a different take on it when you're literally throwing in some of the same scenes that were in the original movie, but you're just doing it with different actors? And then on top of that, so it makes my other issue all the more prevalent if they're trying to do a beat for beat thing here, yet also trying to say it's a different take. Well, it makes it all the more confusing because my big issue is with all the core characters. What makes the Wizard of Oz brilliant is that the Cowardly Lion looks like he's a coward, but he's always the brave one. He's always out front. He's always willing to fight. The Scarecrow, he has no brain, but he's always the smartest one. Comes up with all the ideas and everything. Then you have
Tin Man.
Then you have Tin Man. Tin Man is the heart. He is somebody who says he has no heart, but he is the most sympathetic. And then in this movie, they make Tin Man's character to basically be this like murderous asshole who just wants to kill Elphaba. He's like, oh, I want our head on a spike or whatever. I'm just like, that is not the Tin Man. Holy fucking shit. And all that stuff. And so I'm just like sitting there like, okay, that is definitely different. You know.
I think what they need to do now is make a re-release of the movie and just like randomly have the Tin Man say, I want to head on a spike.
I mean, he sort of technically he probably had that feeling going on in his mind, because he was like had a whole song that a whole part to a song that he's saying about killing her and murdering her, and then it was just like he was like cheering and was like, huzzah, yeah, this is Murder of the Witch. It's just like, geez, okay, this is definitely different for him. And I guess I just, to me, even if that's part of the musical, I just don't really like that. So, yeah.
This all goes back to one thing.
What?
The Tin Man would not have acted the way he did if Nessa hadn't lied and said Elphaba caused this.
Yeah.
So if we cut out that part, the Tin Man would have been sympathetic.
Yeah, he maybe would have been sympathetic and thought that, you know, and I understand him being upset when he's just like, what have you done to me? What have you done? Because, you know, it's like he's freaking turning into a Tin Man, which is, you know, something that doesn't normally happen to people. So I can understand him being upset, but it's just like, but then I don't know. I just feel like they went too far with that. And also, by the way, the design of the Tin Man, not so hot. Straight up, I saw the dude's ass in the costume. There was a scene where it's like a far out shot, and I could see his boxer shorts inside the costume as he was walking. I was like, bruh, this is a straight up costume, and you're wearing makeup. This is just not good. So you know, it is what it is. But I just thought the way the Tin Man looked was not good. I thought the way the Scarecrow looked was really not all that great, and I thought the way there's
a meme going on online about the Scarecrow. Funny enough.
Oh, really?
That I'll send it to you. If you look at the Scarecrow's face at the end of the movie, with that shot with him like staring at Elphaba after the trap door, he literally looks like Ryan Reynolds.
He does. I thought the same thing. I was just like, why did they get Ryan Reynolds to play the Scarecrow part all of a sudden?
Maybe what happened is they had a plan to use him, and then all the Blake Lively and drama started with him and everything. And like, we need to cut him out right now. They're like, oh fuck, we forgot that one shot.
Yeah, no, that's
we forgot that one shot.
Yeah, that's probably what happened there.
And ADR and they just said, hey, Jonathan Bailey, can you ADR your lines?
I will say the Cowardly Lion, I mean, there's not really a whole lot that you could have done there. But I thought the Cowardly Lion looked pretty good. I thought his CGI looked really good. And Dorothy, I do wish we would have seen her face. I think it is kind of a bummer that they never even show her face in the movie. And I'm just like, you literally show the face of Tin Man, Cowardly Lion, and Scarecrow. But you don't even show Dorothy's face throughout the whole movie. I thought that was kind of odd.
I do have a lighthearted question for you.
Do they show Dorothy's face in the play?
No.
Oh, whoa. Okay, so do they only have her from behind in the play or something?
No. What they do is act like she's off stage.
Oh, okay. Interesting. That's different. But what's the lighthearted question you had for me?
With this movie doing so well opening weekend,
Mhm.
and I would not be shocked if more musical movies start to get like announced.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So
I've always wondered where because they released the stage version in theaters, but I've always wondered where the Hamilton actual adaptation is. Like I thought that would have already been made by now.
I think that I think they're waiting on that because with Wicked took them 20 years
Yeah.
to make that. They're probably waiting. So my question to you is, what musical would you most like to see that hasn't been adapted yet?
Well, probably the one I mentioned, Hamilton. I think a Hamilton actual movie adaptation would be really fantastic, and could be a lot of fun. In terms
I
of other ones, I mean, all the most iconic ones have mostly already been made for the
I
most part.
if you don't want one that I am shocked has not been announced yet,
What?
the Book of Mormon.
Oh yeah, the Book of
I'm
Mormon.
like,
Yeah.
that would be such a fun musical to do, and even somebody suggested making it animated, which even that would be. I'm like, okay, that would be interesting. It would be an interesting style. It would be fun. It would be good. And the best part is about it is I've heard people say I don't like musicals, but that Book of Mormon is hilarious. So I think it would attract people that typically would not go see a musical. Because,
Yeah.
because, because that's what you need. If you need a musical that is probably that would get people that maybe would not go see a Les Mis or a Phantom of the Opera movie in the theaters, and
Yeah.
say like for example Wicked, one of the most iconic family musicals of all time. Of course
Sure.
it's going to get bigger crowds than like a Phantom of the of the Opera, despite how big it is. It's big in the Broadway
Yeah.
community and worldwide, but I thought more people would see a Wicked movie than go see a Phantom of the Opera movie.
I do want a new and updated version of the Family Opera. That's kind of like my
Yes,
dream. That would be my dream passion project. If I could make a movie, I would make Phantom of the
yes,
Opera. But
yes,
yeah,
and somebody mentioned an idea a few years ago, which is not a crazy idea. People mentioned it was right after the Cats movie was released.
hmm
They said, why didn't they make this movie animated?
hmm
And once you see the Broadway production of it, you would be like, you know what? That would have been a much better way to execute this story.
oh yeah, not whatever the fuck that was that they did. Holy shit.
Yes. And funny enough, we were supposed to get Wicked in 2019, but they
Yeah.
moved it, and in its replacement, we got Cats. We were supposed to get Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande, but instead we got James Corden and Rebel Wilson making fat jokes.
That's yeah. It's just that was bad. But there's a EDM has something I've never heard of. He says Next to Normal musical is a masterpiece and a lot for Best Actress Oscar if the film was ever made. So I'd have to look at That one. He also says Avenue Q film adaptation is another one I'm waiting for.
Ooh, that would be fun. It's basically Avenue Q is basically picture Sesame Street Muppets if they were all raunchy.
That's fun.
If they were all raunchy, so I could legit see like them as a production making it feel like a Sesame Street or like that kind of a production of it, but just with all the monsters and everything.
Yeah.
Like I could
that would be great.
See that, and it would be hilarious. So I'm just really hoping that we are in a renaissance of musicals, because we've been getting a fair amount of them per year. Like we've been getting like one per year. Like 2023 had Wonka.
Oh yeah.
2024 had this. 2025 had 2024, 2025 Wicked.
And you know what movie I think
Color Purple.
What movie I think we have to thank for all this?
What?
Is actually The Greatest Showman, because once that came out, once that film came out, everyone was singing the songs. It became huge. At the time, it's no longer, but at the time, it was the highest grossing musical to come out in theaters. People were like, just, that movie had legs. People were going to it constantly, and that film came out, and then several musicals have followed since.
I would not be shocked if after the Wicked movies,
yeah,
it even gets ramped up a little bit more. Which for me, I would love to see, because if we can live in a world where we're getting like 3-4 superhero movies per year, why can't we get two really good musicals per year?
I got a fun question for you. So we just did that question. So here's a fun question for you. What movie musical that has never had a Broadway production would you like to see have a Broadway production?
I am gonna say Austin Powers.
I'm saying the movie had to have been a musical previously.
Ooh, okay. Honestly, this is going to sound so out of left field, but South Park Bigger, Longer, and Uncut.
Yeah, I can see that.
It's insane to think about, but like there was a song Blame Canada, and like all of those classics, all of those songs. Picture I could see them saying them doing that, plus adding stuff to it with Trey Parker and Matt Stone and everything. So I could legit see that being being a thing. Wonka is another one that I feel would be fun. La La Land, obviously.
Yeah, La La Land would be one of the big ones I would have on there if I could do that. The Greatest Showman, I think, could have a really great
I think that's already happened. I think I've heard that that's already like a done deal. Like it's gonna happen eventually.
Okay, nice. That would be good. Yeah,
and
all this would be really great.
And there's so for you, I guess one more question for you. Like, what film, in your opinion, do you think that is a straightforward film? Do you feel would still thrive in a musical format?
So a film that isn't a musical that if it
Yes.
was made into a musical.
Yes,
Good.
like how I said,
Yeah.
I could see Austin Powers being a musical.
Oh, that's a good one. You know what I think could make a really good musical, even if it's not a musical, is The Princess Bride. I could see
could
something like that. Yeah.
actually 100% see that.
Yeah, that is one I think could really benefit well from like a musical package to it.
So yeah. So again, wrapping things up. I adored this movie. This movie. I need to think about once they're all out. I'm going to think about like if I was forced to only watch one, which one I would go to. I'm leaning towards that first one just because of those great moments that are lighter, but to me, it is the complete package that makes it amazing.
Yeah.
Kind of like Lord of the Rings.
Oh yeah, it's like how you can't have one Lord of the Rings movie without the other. It's sort of like how you can't really have this Wicked movie without the first, and you can't really have the first Wicked movie without this one. So
yes,
so I definitely can understand that. Even if I didn't love it as much as you, I definitely understand where the love is coming from, why people really are liking this one, and we'll see how the legs that it will get, and also the awards consideration that it will get as time goes by. But as of now, it's holding a 70% on Rotten Tomatoes from critics and a 95, I think, from audiences. So
same number as the original.
Yeah. So everyone, it seems to be really loving it right now. But the question here, guys, for y'all is, what did you guys think of the movie? That's what's important. Did y'all love the movie like Andrew? Did y'all think it was mid like me? Curious to hear your thoughts, guys, down below. Let us know what you all thought of it, and let us know what you guys think of the musical as well, the original Broadway musical. I would love to hear your thoughts on that as well, guys. And what is your favorite musical? Answer some of the questions down below we talked about, like, what movies would you like to see as a musical? What non-musical would you like to see made into one? All that stuff. Like, answer those fun questions. That'd be fun too in the comments below. We had EDM say Silence of the Lambs a la Sweeney Todd style, which would be kind of
that sounds like, if that was a musical, I would see that because even if it wasn't good, I would be like, the story was it's an interesting enough concept that I would be like okay, I'm interested to see how they're going to do this.
oh yeah, I would be very curious. I think that I would just go just to see what it would be like. Just like how apparently I wasn't able to make it because I didn't have the money, but apparently there was an Evil Dead musical that was playing in Roanoke or something near me, and it's like they're touring, but it's like a Broadway adaptation of the Evil Dead films.
Internet showed that. It was very interesting.
Yeah, so I want to go just out of curiosity of what an Evil Dead musical would be like. But yeah, so guys, that'll do it for our Wicked for Good review. Make sure you like this video, subscribe, and share, guys, and ring that notification bell, because there's a lot of other videos coming out. We are doing our final batch of Stranger Things content leading up to season 5. Season 5 drops this Wednesday, guys. We are so close to getting the new season of Stranger Things, and so we are going to be doing our season 4 discussion tomorrow night, guys. And then on top of that, you guys will be seeing a predictions video. Probably it'll be uploaded probably on the day that morning that Stranger Things will drop. So it's going to come out in the morning, enough time for you guys to be able to watch it. And then Stranger Things will premiere at 8 o'clock on that Wednesday night. So you guys can look forward to our predictions video and to our season 4 discussion video that we'll be doing. And then, of course, once season 5 part 1 comes out, we will also be reviewing that for you guys. So a lot of fun Stranger Things content coming your way.
Not to be random, but I just remembered something else that I am shocked has not got a Broadway musical adaptation.
What's that?
Do you remember Gallivant?
Oh my God, yeah, Gallivant.
Picture that on Broadway.
Dude, that would have been so perfect. Maybe it would have actually continued if it was Broadway. Also, there was this one called Schmigadoon that premiered on Apple TV Plus, and that would have been really fun on Broadway as well. But
it's going to Broadway. It's going to Broadway.
Oh, Schmigadoon is? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. I don't know that. But yeah, that Gallivant one, I loved that show, and I think that the Broadway musical would have been great. I also think in terms of television, they have a musical episode of Psych, so I think like Psych on Broadway would be really fun. But yeah, with that said, guys, stay tuned for all the Stranger Things coverage. Also, on Thanksgiving Day, I'll be doing a video talking about my all-time favorite Thanksgiving movies. Just do like a little ranking of like my top 5 favorite Thanksgiving movies to watch on the holiday. So you guys can stay tuned for that. And much, much more. I'll be showing off everything I got for the 30% off Criterion sale at the end of the month. There's a lot of other great stuff. Plus our Christmas videos will also be coming soon, very soon.
I'm excited for that.
We are getting into the Christmas season, so should be a really fun time, guys. So stay tuned for all those videos and much, much more. We will see you all in the next one. Until then, stay classy, my friends, and keep on being wicked.